It is a process that started way back before the election day. Some people remember that a team of mercenaries was arrested at the airport when their baggage was x-rayed and revealed that they were carrying certain materials, particularly electoral materials, which had not been declared. And there was no official from the Electoral Commission to meet them at the airport. When asked, they said that they were going to meet somebody who is an agent of the IEBC. These items they were carrying were confiscated by the security agencies. And when analyzed, they found that these people had secret codes of IEBC and so on, that they could actually interfere with the electoral process. They could enter the IEBC system and compromise the results. What they had, there's a report which was compiled by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. These people were supposed to be charged in a court of law. But when the head of the intelligence convened a meeting, which included the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the Electoral Commission chairman, the head of internal security, and so on, Mr. Chebukati actually gave a threat that if those people, Mr. Chebukati, the chairman of the IEBC, were not released, then elections would have to be postponed. And these were his agents. What was surprising is that their presence or their coming was not unknown by other members of the Electoral Commission. They were only reporting to the chairman of the Electoral Commission, these mercenaries. And then another investigation was carried out by IEBC, which revealed that there were 19 other people who had come in from this same group that was working for this Smartmatic company, a company which had been employed to provide ICT services to the IEBC. There were a total of 21 people, out of which 19 were foreigners. Other members of the Electoral Commission did not know of the presence of these other 19. Those 19 are people whose record from investigations showed that they are people with criminal records in ICT. They had committed cyber crimes. In other countries, they are being looked for, like in Sri Lanka, they were being looked for. So these were basically crooks who had been smuggled into the country by the IEBC for purposes of compromising the electoral process. Come now the day of the elections. The elections were, Kenyans turned up in numbers to vote, and they exercised their right at the polling station. And the counting and tallying at the polling station was flawless. After that, the presiding officers went with the results to the constituency tallying center. Again, at that center, there were no problems. The tallying was done, and at the polling station, they came with the Form 34As, they called, for the presidential votes. At the constituency tallying center, then the returning officer now had what is called 34Bs for the presidential votes. So it was tallied. And each time this tallying was done, the form would be scanned and then will be transmitted to the server at the national level. Now, one assumed that those results were the ones which were being received by the Electoral Commission and which were going to be announced. What we have now discovered since that time is a different story. First, we discovered that there were 4 different servers. There's one server which was in the Netherlands, in the clouds. 2, there was another server in Venezuela. 3, there was another server in the anniversary towers, headquarters of the Electoral Commission. 4, there was another server in the industrial area. And 5th, there was a portal at the National Tallying Center at the Bomas of Kenya. So what would happen was that when these results were being transmitted from the polling station and even from the constituency tallying center, they were going to these 4 servers. But it was the server in Venezuela where it was manipulating the results, altering results, and transmitting to the portal which was at the National Tallying Center. That is where the crime was committed. So that the results which were at the National Tallying Center were differed to a very large extent from the results which had come from the constituency tallying center. So what was, therefore, what now happens is that you have the results which had come from the constituency tallying center and they were available in the server at the IBC headquarters in Anniversary Towers. At the tallying center, the Bomas of Kenya, our agents were suspicious with people who were walking around with gadgets and which were involved in altering results. And the attention of the chairman of the Electoral Commission was actually drawn to these facts. Now, the chairman of the Electoral Commission had said that he was not going to announce the presidential result outcome until he had received the originals of forms 34Bs from the returning officers to 290 constituencies, plus 1 which is from the diaspora, therefore 291, that he would only be able to complete Form 34C out of this sum total of 291 Form 34Bs. That is how when he was going to originate 34Cs. That's what he said. But then what happened was different. As you know, as the tallying was going on, the portal was live and the people were seeing on the television screen the results as being coming from constituencies. They were being announced and the people were showing it. So the figures kept on changing. However, 2 days before the end of the exercise, they stopped the portal. It was no longer showing anything. And then they were going through constituencies, but they were no longer being posted in the portal. Then now they reached a stage where there were 29 constituencies which still remained. The chairman stopped the exercise at that point. And then later he said he was going to rest. He went to rest. He went away for 8 hours. He was completely incommunicado. When he returned after these 8 hours, he came and then called the commissioners and told him that he had the final results which he wanted to announce. They asked him, but when you left here, we had still 29 constituencies, which had not been tallied. He said that his staff had already tallied all that, and he has now the final results which he wants to announce. I told him, but we don't know how you've arrived at these results. And we have not even discussed this as a commission.